Alright, I'm officially a super trucker, and that is not good. That's not good at all. So it's Saturday, December the 14th, 8:30 local time right now. I've come over from Eagle Pass where it would have been 7:30 Central. I've got this far west that I've gained an hour, so now it's 8:30, but it's really 7:30 Central time. When I picked up an Eagle Pass, it was about 11 o'clock. I've been here for about an hour, so about 7.5 hours straight. I used all my clock. When I got here, my clock literally had about 7 or 8 minutes. Got a lot to say. I am so tired. When my mentor gets like this on the road, he gets like like this some kind of hypnosis thing, and I was a little bit scared, as I was a little bit concerned about that today. But let's backpedal a little bit, okay? I had a very short shift before the rescheduled unload at HEB early this morning at 3:30. So as I explained, I only had 3 hours sleep. Then I went over there at 2:30 in the morning, started unloading, got out of there at 6:30. And he had already told me yesterday that I had a load to go to Eagle Pass, and he wanted me to deadhead to Eagle Pass. But I thought I had a little bit of time, right? I needed, when I was at HEB, I tried to sit and sleep in the driver's seat for a couple of hours and get some sleep to catch up, because I'd only had 3 hours overnight. And I knew I was going to have a big day, like 11 hours driving this bugger once. And I thought it's going to be a disaster. For whatever reason, I can't do that. Like three variants of a disaster, you know, like there's a third one which you don't even want to consider, but that's not going to happen with me. And then there's a second one where I lose my job, and now I'm losing my train of thought because I can't remember what the first one was. But anyway, so I don't know, it was like bloody 6:30 in the morning, so I'd been there for 4 hours by the time they unloaded me. I thought, well, I'll use these PC bullshit instead of going to the shutdown and sitting there for an hour or so, because my plan was wait it out for an hour or so I didn't kill hours on my clock, then deadhead over to Eagle Pass, get there by about 10:30. And yeah, that was all going to be good. I wasn't going to waste hours because the actual appointment was for 11:30, so you always try to be there earlier. So, you know, 6:30 in the morning, got out at HEB, done the PC bullshit just a mile or so down the road. I went to a store. I thought, I need proper coffee. I need coffee to run this super day. On top of only 3 hours sleep last night, and I've already been up for 4 hours again starting this day. So let's consider that, right? 2:30 this morning, I think I woke about 1:30 this morning, so it's actually 7:30 Central time, because I've got almost to the west of Texas now, so back in Eagle Pass. It would be 7:30 right now, so 2:30 to 7:30, so that's 12 plus 5, 17 hours up. Now I've been here for an hour, 16-hour day, because remember, you're doing the PC bullshit over at HEB to unload. Hadn't even started my clock, right? Literally by about 7:15 a.m. in the morning is when I started my clock. But I've been up, and then I've been working since fucking 2:30. So 17 hours, let's call it 7 or 16 hours of work, right? Work, right? Laser, like work. Not 14 hours, so 14 hours legit on the clock, of course. But 17 hours in actuality. So I went to the store. I did the PC bullshit over to the store. I needed to get a couple of things and just grab some coffee so I could run this crazy ass day. And I'm in there for like maybe about 20 minutes. It's like 10 to 7 to 20 past 7. And I came out and double checked the truck and everything before I was going to do the official pre-trip. And so I'm getting back in the truck from doing that. I get a phone call from him. And he's in my face straight away. Immediately. He's like, why are you not answering the phone? I'm like, dude, I was outside the truck. I just went to get a cup of coffee. I looked at the phone. Between probably like about 5 minutes after I landed at the store to get my coffee and start, like get a couple of things. Until just before he called me, like maybe 5 minutes before he called me, there was a total of, including that call, 3 calls and 3 texts. This guy is worse than my ex-wife on a good freaking day. He's a narcissistic, psychopathic, harassing. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm very, very tired. So I'm stumbling for words and I'm trying to get all this said. So he's abusing the crap out of me. And in the middle of it, he says, I told you to go straight away. And I said, dude, like, I had a plan. I'm still going to get there. Oh, no, there's going to be traffic. And I'm thinking, San Antonio, it's fucking Saturday morning. There's not going to be any freaking traffic either, right? So I literally did 5 minutes on the bloody pre-trip this morning instead of 10 or 15 minutes because I'm like, oh shit, I better start that straight away now because the guy's losing his mind. He's losing his fucking mind. And after he hung up, if I put 10 minutes on the pre-trip, the official pre-trip, he's going to be calling me for a 7th and an 8th time. This is the third world mentality that they've imported. This is what they do to their Indians in the valley farms over there in Punjabi. And this is how he treats me as a worker, right? Like Trump said, it's shithole countries. And they come over here, and then the third world mentality, they just put it on you. It's not just corporatist. It's not just like, these big mega corporations, carriers, but even the independent ones with these Indians, like this Indian running me. It's, as my guardian angel said, trucking is as close to modern slavery as you can get. I'm like, you think? I've known that for a long time. The way this guy treats me. So, end of the conversation after all this blame, and the same thing that actually happened in Marana a couple of shutdowns back. Because I was a little slow, and I went in the store and grabbed some stuff, and I come back, and he's abusing the crap out of me, and there was another 6 phone calls and texts. Why you not pick up the phone? $75 deduction, sir, for not picking up phone. This is the guy who's going to tax me for missing his phone call while I was in the fucking store. That was 2 days ago. So this morning, he's got another 6 texts and phone calls inside a half an hour, right? So at the end of the current phone call, he's calling me like 20 past 7 in the morning Central in San Antonio at the store after I pulled my coffee in the truck, got ready to do the official pre-trip. He's like, I really got to consider this. Like, he does this gaslighting thing to you. He did it to me in 2020. Every time he's not happy, I mean, this is not happy. It's not happy when everything is just absolutely, totally his way, and all your personal time and all your life is stolen. Unless it's all for the business, he's not happy. So if you get anything, he's not happy. So this is the thing, the gaslighting phrase he uses. But he comes true on it too, because he fired me in 2020. I can't give you loads. If you do this, I can't give you loads. Like I'm some kind of a freaking contractor, right? And it's like a privilege to have the freaking job. So he's literally telling me, I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking, well, I'm going to come back to Richmond, this load to Richmond, California. This probably will be the last freaking load I'm going to do. Alright? So I'm like, dude, I was just getting a coffee, right? Getting a couple of other things, checking the truck, getting ready, just literally about to do the pre-trip. I said, you were waiting on a pickup phone. I was out of freaking range. Like, he coerced me to buy this $100, $87 Bluetooth. So the bastard can literally call me when I'm shitting on a can or something, right? So now, you know, like, the truth comes out. Like, he's trying to find a way to get rid of me, man. And it's all just compounded. It's like a woman thing, like a wife thing. Like they get a grudge and they hold on to it and they never forgive you and they always bring it back for any argument. So right now, like a couple of days apart, I didn't pick up the phone because I was busy doing something. One time I didn't even have the Bluetooth on this morning. The other day I was out of, I think, well, one of them I was out of range, one I hadn't yet put it on, right? 6 times trying to contact me each time. And it's like, it's all drubbing back to this blame of the rescheduled, which I put that in the other video. Like, it's still all my fault that this didn't happen. Now I'm not picking up the phone. Now, like, I'm in jeopardy, like my freaking livelihood. Now, remember, I only had 3 hours sleep the night before, and I'm arguing the point with this guy. I've already been up working for 4 hours in the morning, and I gotta go. I was literally ready to go, and he's drawing. I'm sitting there talking to this bastard when I could be going and working because I was ready to go. So I'm already tired and I'm worried, and I've got my coffee and I hope it's going to work for the day. But I've never done this crap before. And as I said, the third variant of that option is the one that you don't want to visit. Right? That's not going to happen with me, but that's the option variant that you do not want to eventuate. And it's in the back of my mind, right? Because every other like mega carrier is like safety first. You know, if you feel this, then better, you know, like stop and shut down and all that. Well, with this, like second option, lose the delivery on the load. The job's gone, right? This is the way he rolls. Like every freaking millisecond is given to him because I have no time. Yeah, because both the broker and him are so unrealistic. So now I've got, you know, that's fully in my face, my livelihood. The night before, when I didn't get that much sleep, part of it was because I was having trouble trying to get sleep, because I planned on trying to get 4.5, then I'd get 2 in the driver's seat while I was being unloaded this morning at HEB. That was the plan. I only got 3. When I was in the driver's seat this morning, I could not sleep while I was being unloaded. I could not sleep. So that's sleep depth, right? Deprivation or deficit. Deaf stands for both of them. So I was very, very worried this morning. And I got the coffee, but I hope that damn well works. Because if it was one of the Starbucks glass coffees, not the truck stop coffees, or one of the caramel macchiatos I used to get actually from the Starbucks store, those bloody things, they just don't work. This stuff, the truck stop coffee, is the only stuff that works for me now. I've discovered it after like 6 years of trucking. That's the real stuff that works. So I'm concerned about the day, and now I'm concerned about the livelihood. And as I said, I hadn't been able to sleep, and I told you the reasons I hadn't been able to sleep. But the other thing is that, man, I don't want to lose that train of thought. I really do not want to lose that train of thought. With the sleep deficit, where are we at here? Damn, I'm losing that train of thought, and that is not good, because I need to get this out. Yeah, I probably lost that train of thought, and that's not good. If I can pick it up, that's great. It's to do with the sleep deficit. It's to do with the sleep. Do not being able to sleep, not being able to get the sleep I needed. So now I have to roll. So now I have this huge day, right? And I don't even know how I did it. If it wasn't for the coffee, and it wasn't for the day driving, because when I used to drive like 2 to 4 a.m. when I used to drive nights, that's not going to happen. You're really crashing in those dead hours if you've had the kind of issues that I've had, like length of time awake and then up and working again or whatever it is, and minimal sleep. You're in trouble. But for some reason, the daytime and the coffee, I hit a flat spot and I was worried for a while. And as I was starting to think about my mentor, I think like he goes into a hypnotic trance and he knows it's just, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm on the road coming up through the Pecos, back of Sanderson somewhere. And then eventually I got over it. So I had 2 of these today. One I got in San Antonio, another one I got in Fort Stockton, and a Snickers, bit of chocolate, you know, nougat, whatever, to kick me and get me going. And I got here. So I'm officially a super trucker, like 3 hours sleep in 24 hours, and I've done, and as I said, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of the fact that I'm a super trucker. So with the deadhead from San Antonio to Eagle Pass, plus the drive out of Eagle Pass to where I am, I said I was trying, like the last video, I said I was going to try for about 6:30 to try to make the numbers work. This is the first shift out on the flip side back. So 6:17 is pretty close to that. And actually from Eagle Pass, I've done about 460. 460 miles on 3 hours sleep after waking up at 1:30 in the morning, being over to HEB at 2:30, for an appointment at 3:30, unloaded at 6:30, over to the store at 7 o'clock, over to Eagle Pass. And that's the other thing. The bugger told me the night before, it's 11:30, try to be there at 10:30. When he's abusing me, when I'm at the store getting the coffee this morning, he called me like 6 times. When he's abusing me on that last call, he tells me, no, you got to be there at 10 o'clock, it's going to close. I'm like, what the fuck? You change your mind the next fucking day. So the hour I thought I had, like, instantly just gone, right? Snap. I mean, talk about crack the whip on the blacks and the Chinamen on the train line in the 1880s. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm a freaking white guy, man. Western civilization. This is what I've been reduced to as a truck driver. I have to make videos about why truck and why not truck. This is definitely one of those why not truck reasons. So, as I said, I don't know how I did it, but I got here, and then I had a plan for a couple of stops, but then I really needed to get this 600 odd miles done. And so I shot, instead of shooting before one of my spots, I shot after one of my spots, and there was a little rest stop, and I didn't have a lot of faith. I've been to there before, it's not a lot of spaces, they are all in a freaking line, and that was a mile up the road. So an hour and a half or hour and a quarter ago, I was a mile up the road looking at that rest stop, and damn, that was my last shot, and I was literally at about 11 minutes left on the clock. By the time I got here, I had about 8 minutes left on my drive clock. My shift clock still had a bit, but my drive clock had basically nothing. And so I came off. There's a truck stop over there, but I thought that's not going to work. I came off on the ramp a mile along from the rest stop, and it's literally last minute, like desperation, emergency. There's a nice bit of dirt here, and it's quite wide, and it's well away. The freeway's just over there between here and the truck stop. That's the westbound ramp. See, there goes the truck west. And I saw the flatbed and I thought, great. It seems quiet enough, and I'm here early enough, so I'm going to be getting up early enough. I shouldn't get too bothered, right? And let's see what the objective has been achieved with this, how this works. Look, 1,217 miles. So I'm at a gravel shoulder, and it's in El Paso. It's east of El Paso before the city itself, and it's a little bit wet. It's about an hour west of one of the nicest spots I would have gone to. And when I worked for the mega carrier, I'd have just said F it. I'll be short an hour or so on the miles, and maybe I'll just tell them something happened with the truck. You know, I had a lot of excuses, ready-made, all cooked up to go, and I could just make the choices. But with this, to literally get this 1217 to be spliced in half for the next 2 shifts, because it's Saturday, December the 14th evening. I got to run Sunday, I got to run Monday, and I got like 6 a.m. Richmond, California, Tuesday morning. 2 shifts, 600 or so. I'll talk later about how that's going to be diced, because one will be diced long, the other one will be diced short. I've talked about that before. But I've met the objective. But to do it, I had to bloody kill myself, you know. 600 miles total today on 3 hours sleep and a 17-hour work day on 3 hours sleep. All of this, I mean, in addition to all the crap that happens with the logs and stuff, I had a ding-dong fight with him in the first couple of weeks after I had two sets of bad flat tires in 24 hours on the same axle on the same side. I think I might have went over that in one of the early videos, and I had a huge abusive fight with him at that time. And Friday night was a similar kind of argument, and now it's almost back to when I started, like, you know, like literally like your balls are just hanging off a branch, just about to get whacked by like a piñata stick or something. Or this is the way this bugger operates. When I was a salesman back in Australia as a refugee from the American recession, the Great Recession, I was freaked out about what this Indian boss was doing to me with sales. And I started having a conversation with another guy I knew who was in sales, who was trying to get me into this other job, and I was on the phone doing it. But the salesman, I was training him, the young guy who was really good, and he lit up really quick the first time I showed him how to sell these people electricity bill of discounts. But he, like, the way I was going through this process of literally, I'm trying to get out of this situation. He said to me, and I'll never forget it, this young Irish guy, he said to me, "I don't like the way you operate." And I've never heard that from anyone before or since. And I did it once, the last small company that both my mentor and I worked with in Texas this year for a short time. Didn't like the way they operated either. And that's the way it is with this guy. I don't like the way he operates. I mean, it's not Western. And it's back to the 1700s slave trade, whatever you want to call it, the South Sea, you're always in the ships. This is what it's like with this job. And really, I don't even know how I made it today, but hopefully there'll be no death tonight, and I'm going to have a reasonable shutdown and get some sleep, start tomorrow and go over the rest of it at another point. Have a good evening.